Hey guys, it's Olivia, and today I'm going to be telling the story of JonBenét Ramsey. JonBenét Ramsey was born August 6, 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia. She quickly rose to fame as a child star because her mother started entering her into child beauty pageants. By the age of 6, she held titles in 7 different child pageants. However, little did she know, on December 17, 1996, she would perform in her last pageant. Only 9 days later, on December 26th, JonBenét's mother, Patsy Ramsey, found a 2.5-page ransom note on their staircase. The note claimed that JonBenét had been kidnapped and that her father must pay $118,000 for her to be returned safely. Despite the letter's warnings not to call the police, Patsy did just that at 5:52 a.m. The police arrived and began investigating, looking for evidence of an intruder. A forensic team was also later dispatched to the house. Since it appeared JonBenét had been kidnapped, her room was the only place in the house that was marked off to prevent contamination of evidence. So meanwhile, family friends have arrived and began cleaning the kitchen, possibly destroying any evidence that may be there. At 1 p.m., Detective Linda Arndt asked JonBenét's father, to look around the house to see if there was anything out of the ordinary. He and a friend began their search in the basement. John opened a latch door in the basement, and in a room behind that door, he found his daughter's body. JonBenét had duct tape on her mouth and cords around her neck and wrists. John grabbed his daughter's body and ran to tell the investigators what he'd found, further contaminating the evidence. Her autopsy revealed that she had been strangled and hit in the head, killed the day before on Christmas Day. So who killed JonBenét, and why? The first theory is that her family killed her. Investigators pointed out that the ransom note was rather long to have been written at the crime scene, and it appeared it was because it had been written on paper from a notepad that was in the Ramsey house. Investigators also noticed that there were no fingerprints on the ransom letter other than those of Patsy Ramsey and the authorities that had handled the letter the day that her body was found. However, no handwriting experts have confirmed that Patsy wrote the ransom note. Perhaps this was also why the house was clean and why John removed her body from the crime scene. Perhaps they were purposefully contaminating the evidence. So one of the family theories is that Patsy hit JonBenét out of anger and thought she had killed her, so then she strangled her to cover up what she had done to make it appear that someone else did it and wrote the ransom note. Another theory is that her brother Burke, who was 9 years old at the time, killed her. Her autopsy also revealed that she had appeared to have eaten pineapple. Now, her parents claim that they don't ever remember giving her pineapple. However, in photos taken the day of the investigation at the Ramsey house, there is a bowl of pineapple seen on their kitchen table. Burke's fingerprints were found on this bowl. So the theory is that JonBenét stole a piece of pineapple from Burke's bowl, and that out of anger, he hit her in the head with a heavy object and killed her. The strangulation and the ransom note were his parents' attempt to cover up what he had done. A more accepted theory is that JonBenét was killed by an intruder. There was an unidentified boot mark in the room where her body was found. There was also unidentified male DNA on her clothing. However, there was no evidence of an intrusion at the Ramsey house. But in 2006, a man named John Mark Carr confessed to the murder of JonBenét Ramsey. He claimed that he had picked her up from school and taken her home and drugged her and sexually assaulted her. He claims that the killing was an accident. However, his story didn't make sense. It was Christmas, she wouldn't be in school, and her autopsy showed no trace of drugs. And while unfortunately sexual assault could not be ruled out, it was, however, evident that the death was not an accident. Maybe she was accidentally hit in the head, but the strangulation was definitely not an accident. It was also discovered that Carr had been with his wife in Alabama on Christmas Day 1996, while JonBenét was killed in Colorado. Carr's confession was ruled to be false. To this day, we still don't know who killed JonBenét Ramsey. There's so many things that don't make sense, and so many things that just don't add up. The murder of 6-year-old pageant queen JonBenét Ramsey remains a mystery.